Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures. Today we've got this 2021 Chevy Silverado 1500. This is the RST trim with the Duramax diesel and Z71 package. This diesel engine never ceases to impress me. This is the second time I've had it, and the immediate response of it is just incredible. There's so much torque down low. Whatever gear you're in, I mean, the 10-speed transmission is great and it will shift rather quickly as well, but with this thing there's so much torque in it that you don't have to worry about that so much. You push on the gas and it just goes. Now, keeping that in mind, it's not fast. This will be outrun by those V8s from Chevy, the 5.3 and the 6.2. I'm sure will outrun this, but just the response is incredible. This has Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner ATs and Rancho shocks on it. I do love this step on the bed sides. The RST does come with a few additional upgrades, and we'll look at the Monroney as well. But some things like this, I believe, is standard on the RST. It does have the LED bed lighting, and it passes the fog light test. Go ahead and switch these over from on to there. The fog light button's here and they are on. Let's go ahead and turn on the cargo lamp so you can see those in the bed there and up top. So here we are with just the parking lights on and daytime running light thing, but then the fog lights. So this is a true fog light. It's not another running light as is common. This truck also has these forward facing lights, which I don't like as much as the rear facing lights. So again, you just hit the button here for those, and there you go. So they kind of project out here to the side front of the truck, whereas the HD versions and whatever, they have the lights on the mirrors that project backwards and light up your working area around the side. Chevy, as you probably already all know, they now have the diesel exhaust fluid fill here. This is a capless fill, which I love. Let's go ahead and shut it off so we can look under the engine. This one has, they dropped it off with like, so it's got 917 miles on it, and they dropped it off just over 800 miles. It's pretty much brand new, and it has a like 600 mile range, 550 mile range probably. I'm getting a little bit worse gas mileage than you would normally. Like I said, I do plenty of idling and off-roading stuff, and it just lowers the gas mileage, but I'm getting a little bit over 20 still. When they dropped it off, it was about 24, and that's with this engine that's not broken in at all. So there's your turbo. This inline six. Inline sixes are possibly my favorite engine design. I do like V8s, of course, but the inline six is just a smooth, incredible design. From that standpoint, very smooth. Usually higher torque engines, but of course you can adjust the engines to make them however. Lots of room back here. These newer ones, I believe they started this in 2020, have additional storage there. This one does actually have the plug, which is good. I'll show you that on the front. And that's your capless fuel fill, in case you have to fill up with a fuel can or jerry can or whatever you want to call it. And then there's your spare tire stuff there, changing your tire, cup holders in the middle, and then another one of these compartments on the other side. 2 USB ports and a 12-volt outlet there. No sunroof on this one, which is great for me, but other people do like them. Power rear window, and there's my driving position. There's 8 inches of room in between there, so you can fit a few pretty big people in here, no problem. Turn those cargo lamps. Okay, so it does have heated steering wheel, nice leather steering wheel. Turn that off. Okay, and a lot of features. It really is like quite feature packed. So this one has the trailer brake controller. I believe that's standard. No, that is optional on the RST. Auto stop start, heated seats. You can heat the back and the bottom or just the back. And then there's all your other stuff, your parking sensors. That drops the tailgate, flashers, traction control off. Push it once, turns the traction control off. Push it and hold it, turns down or turns off traction control and your electronic stability control. This is for your outlet. That one's probably for the one in the bed. This one probably just comes on when you turn the vehicle on. And then your downhill assist there. I don't know why that's flashing. Dual zone climate control. The screen's not real big, it's kind of basic, but it's got everything you need on it. Easy enough to use. This truck is nice, but not like overly done. And I really enjoyed the GMC AT4. This one's not quite as nice inside, but plenty of charging ports around. 12 volt there. Lots of interior storage space. And let's grab this Monroney here. So the base price of the RST is 46,000. Let's see, 46,500. And this one is equipped with the Duramax Diesel, which has been on sale recently. This one lists at 2,390, but there was a moment there, they may still be doing that, where it was only like $1,000 more, which is a steal. I think that's a really good deal on this engine. This one has the All-Star Edition Plus package, which has the universal home remote, the sliding rear window, and a bunch of other things. This 120 volt outlet here, and the cargo bed outlets, lots of other stuff on this one. The Bose premium sound system, which actually it sounds pretty good. I think they have a higher sound system than this one, but this one's still really good. The 20-inch rims, all that came with that All-Star Edition. And then it has the Z71 off-road package for $1,600 with the Rancho shocks, skid plates, hill descent control, heavy-duty air filter, and the 2-speed transfer case, which this one has a 4-wheel drive auto, 4 high, 4 low, and then of course 2-wheel drive. So if you leave it in auto, that's good for conditions like today, and maybe a little bit later today. It's going to start snowing quite a bit, so having it in auto is a good compromise, where you're not having the center differential locked and tearing it up, you know, your drivetrain and tires when it's on good terrain, and then you hit an occasional patch of snow where you want the 4-wheel drive. It's nice having that all-wheel drive setting. And with this Z71 off-road package, you also get the badging, dual exhaust with polished tips, and the all-terrain tires, 20-inch painted aluminum wheels, which the other package already came with those wheels. So it also has the safety package with the front and rear park assist, lane change alert with the blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, and the leather package for $760, which I do like. This leather package it still feels like a durable leather, but it's definitely, like, I feel, is a higher quality, easier to clean than the cloth seats. So this one also has the bucket seats, additional $545. I think I would maybe go with the 6-passenger for my personal vehicle, but I mean, it's nice having the center console and everything if you don't need the extra seating spot. Cherry red tint coat, which looks really good, for $495, and the trailer brake controller for $275. This one, the gross vehicle weight rating is 7,200 with the 323 axle ratio. And I believe the AT4 that we tested had the well, it had the same axle ratio, and I think the gross vehicle weight rating was like 7,000, so a little bit lower. And then the total price on this, $56,950, but there was some additional savings and whatever, so it was not, I don't know how to phrase this. It was about $8,000 cheaper than the GMC, but I'm not feeling like I missed out on anything that the AT4 had. Yeah, you have the 2-inch lift on the AT4 with the dirt track tires, but besides that, this truck has everything I need. I think the GMC had the heads-up display and the sunroof probably. There were a few other things, but for $8 grand less, this truck is very well equipped. And honestly, like I said, I love driving this thing on the road. That's so responsive. You need to pass someone, just push the gas pedal a little bit and it goes. There's nothing to worry about as far as building up speed, building up power and torque to be able to pass someone. You just push on the gas and it goes. So it does have all the steering wheel controls and stuff. This side's your cruise control with your heated steering wheel. This side will control the screen there in the middle, and has the phone settings on the back of the steering wheel. You have the radio controls and the volume on the other side. One thing I'm not a huge fan of this shifter. It's pretty hard to do. They've tuned it really well, but your shift points are here, to change gears, whatever. And this one doesn't show you what gear you're in. It just shows you where you have it set. So right here, you can see me changing it. That'll keep me from going into any gear above 7th gear is all that means. So that's not the big issue I have with it. The issue I do have is when you go, say you're going down a hill and you want to lock it into 4th gear, you're towing a trailer, whatever, going down the hill, and then you decide, oh, I don't want to be in 4th gear anymore, or whatever, I'm just going to go back to the normal drive, and you just pop it up like that to put it into the normal drive. But you're going to do that and you hit a bump and you pop it into neutral, you pop it into reverse. It's not going to kill the truck if you do that. It'll probably give you a warning, stop you from putting it in reverse. And even, if you hit a big bump, you could go all the way up into park. So when you're going from manual to the other mode, like I said, I think they've tuned it really well. The possibility of that happening is low. I just don't like the design of it. I'd rather have it be, you just stay in drive and hit the buttons here to use your lockout for the higher gears, and then maybe hold down the plus button to return to normal drive mode, something like that. Anyway, other than that, really don't have any issues with it. It's been a great driving truck. The tailgate, like I said, you just hit the button here. It's an easy open one. Inside the bed, I love the bed on these trucks. I don't know why it took so long to do this design, but you can see hopefully how much more space there is there. Most of the other truck beds would maybe be not quite that far out, but they stick out quite a ways, whereas this one, between your inner and outer walls on the bed, there's a lot less empty cavity in there, which is a design that should have been implemented years ago, and always wondered why they haven't done that. We are in 4-wheel drive low, which automatically turns off traction control, and the electronic stability control, as you can see right there as well, shows 4-wheel drive low. And we're going to climb the steep hill. It doesn't look too bad right now, but it is. This video, we're not going to be doing a separate off-road video of this truck, as there is already one. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and climb it just this one time, see what we can do. I imagine it'll make this pretty easily in 4-wheel drive low. This does have the G80 rear locker. Taking an easier line, it's going to dig right here. It'll lift a wheel. Just a little bit of slipping. This truck's wide, at least wider than other vehicles I've had on here. Oh, I'm not going to climb the step here. So we'll have to do a hard breakover angle. And yeah, really no problem, even though, well, I actually bet the snow made it a little bit less slick than it would normally be, because most of the snow was melted on that spot, so the ground was a little bit damp. Rather than being super dusty and slick, it was a little damp and had decent traction. So now let's go back into 4-wheel drive auto again, just push the button here. And I was just in normal mode. You can go to off-road mode. I'll show you after this shifts. There we go. So it does have sport and off-road, and then the tow haul mode if you go the other way, which tow haul mode is whether you're in sport or off-road mode. Sport mode, if you put it in tow haul mode, yeah, it still stays in sport mode. So anyway, kind of weird that you use tow haul mode in any of the other modes. For high-speed off-roading, let's see if we can get this up to speed here. We're going 20, and here's the first big bump. Oh, that was hard. So definitely another hard one there, about 18 miles an hour. That's a little bit much for this truck going 20, which is the goal. I believe the AT4, I was just a little bit below 20, maybe right at 20. So basically the Trail Boss. This one's just the RST with the Z71 package, so it doesn't get the lift and slightly softer suspension of the Trail Boss and AT4s. It doesn't have the tires that those have either, but it still has a decent Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain tire on this. Yeah, and on this stuff, I'm about 15 miles an hour for these big ones, and that's about the max on these. The ride is not, even over the bigger bumps, it doesn't upset the truck. So yes, you go over a bigger bump and it might get close to bottoming out the suspension, or actually bottom it out, but it's not overwhelming. It doesn't send jolts. It doesn't sound like anything's being damaged. There was just a slight bump when it hit the bump stop. Nothing crazy. All right, here we are, 0 to 60, just flat footing. So as you can see, it's not super fast. That was not building any boost or anything. If you brake torque it, build boost, you'll get a better launch. It'll be a little quicker, but you can hear at speed, it's still fairly quiet, but there is a little bit of road noise. It sounds more like wind noise than tire noise on this one. In the AT4 and Trail Boss, you can hear the tires because they're so aggressive. Again, in those vehicles, it's not overwhelming, but just something you can hear a little bit in the background. Just like in this thing, it's not overwhelming. You can hear the sound, the noise, wind noise and stuff, but nothing that's gonna stop me from buying this truck at all. I mean, it's not even close to that. So just not as quiet as maybe some of the other ones. You don't hear the diesel engine either, unless you're really on the throttle. You know, these things are so quiet these days. On startup and whatever, you can hear it a little bit. You know it's a diesel, but it's not like an overwhelming diesel clatter. If you do want to see how this thing can do off-road, I'll go ahead in the top there, click on the link in the top right hand corner, and that will take you to the GMC AT4, which I did do some testing off-road with. Drove it at the sand down by the lake a little bit, which that sand's really wet and sticky anyway. And then I did all of the normal testing. Yeah, I think that's about it for this thing. So thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, be sure to comment down below and let me know why. And hit subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications when we have upcoming vehicles. And have a great day.